Dell OptiPlex 745C computer, and today I will be showing you how to disassemble and reassemble this computer. So, to start off with, there is a little switch over on the side right here. You push it, and you push it really good, and it will pop up the side right here, and you just grab it and pull it up. And this will open up the whole entire top. And once you open it, it kind of gets in a mess sometimes. So, we're going to start off with getting the hard drive out. Before you start taking things out, you want to make sure you put on your ESD strap. This is a pain, but put on. Once you have it on, just attach it to a piece of metal on the case. I like to attach it to the metal portion of the fan, or the portion where the fan blows through. Okay, and then first disconnect your power to the hard drive, and then your SATA cable. They both just clip right off. And then to get the hard drive out, it's really easy and simple. Just grab the two pieces of blue on the side and just pull right up, and that will pull your hard drive right out. Set that to the side. Now we're going to want to get some of these cords out of the way, so we're going to start off with the ribbon cable. You can go ahead and grab the black tab and pull straight up, wiggle back and forth if you have to, and I'll get that undone. So unslide it there, and then do the same thing from the floppy disk drive if you have one. Go ahead and set that to the side. And then let's get the SATA cable. Let's get the SATA cable out of the way. This will be plugged in over towards the back of the computer. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. And then we're going to go ahead and unplug the SATA cable leading to your CD-ROM. Unplug that there. Okay, and then after that, we're going to go ahead and unplug your power cable to your CPU, which is right here. The yellow and black cable. You can go ahead and unplug that there. Just push the clip and pull straight up. And you're going to do the same thing to your motherboard power, which is right here. You're going to push on the clip and pull straight up. I'll get that undone. Okay. Now go ahead and unplug the power cable to your CD-ROM. That's just easily slid out. And we'll do the same thing to your floppy disk. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and get your power supply out so we can get that out of the way. To make sure you do that, you're going to want to get this ribbon cable, in other words PATA cable, out of the way. Just simply slide it out of the little clip there. Now, before you start messing with your power supply, you're going to want to disconnect yourself from the system case. That way you're not grounded. Otherwise, you can get electrocuted. Now you're going to start with unscrewing the case, unscrewing these 4 different screws. Hopefully the screwdriver's big enough. Make sure none of those fall on the floor. Okay, now from here, go down to the bottom of the case, and there will be this little blue tab. Just push it down, right here. Push it down, and slide the power supply backwards. and that will unclip your power supply, and then you just pull it straight up. Okay, from here, we're going to go ahead and get this big black box out of the way. First, we're going to come over here and unplug your system fan. Just simply push on the little clip right here and pull it right up. I'm going to unclip it from there and go ahead and stuff that right there. Then you're going to want to unscrew it. So there's going to be a screw over on this side right here, and then over on the other side right here. So we can go ahead and unscrew those. This is easier if you use a longer screwdriver, but this is what I got at the time. And it's okay if you hear a little bit of clicking. There is springs on the other side of the screws. Okay, and then we go to the other side. Let's get that out. Now, once you have both those unscrewed, you're just gonna push down on the fan and pull straight up on this black box, which is gonna be containing your heat sink. Go ahead and place that to the side. I would suggest to keep this portion right here that attaches to your CPU, which is right here. I would suggest keeping that off of any surfaces. Otherwise, you're gonna have to reapply whatever you're going to be putting on your power supply or the CPU. Then the fan is where it gets a little bit trickier. There's going to be a little clip right over on this side right here. I'm going to push on that. I'm going to just kind of wiggle it out this way, and then there's going to be another one down here. I'm going to push down on that and just kind of see if you can wiggle it out of place. This should slide back. Okay, why isn't it wanting to come out? Sometimes this could be harder than it is, and sometimes it can be fairly easy. Gosh dang it. We'll get back to that. So we're going to go ahead and take the RAM out. Before you take the RAM out, you're going to want to reattach yourself to the case. So go ahead and push on these two sides here, and the RAM will pop right up. And grab the sides of the RAM. Do not touch these black boxes. They're your memory chips. And do not touch these gold leads. Otherwise, you will destroy your RAM. Go ahead and set that aside. Okay, now those are out. And go ahead and disconnect your front panel. It's just simply pulled up on the yellow. And go ahead and move this out of the way. Now, to get your CD-ROM and floppy disk drive out. You're gonna push down on this blue lever, which is gonna pop the front of your system case off. Once you have that, you're just gonna hold this down and slide your CD-ROM out. And then you'll do the same thing with your floppy disk. Now, from there, go ahead and unplug your front panel from the front panel and get that out of the way. Now, let's see if I can go back to getting this out, if it wants to come out. If you want, there's these two pieces here you can push down on, and it will remove your fan. So if you just need a quick, simple way to replace your fan, just push on those two spots and your fan will pop right out. Just like that. But in this case, we're going to keep them in. The fan isn't completely necessary to be removed because it kind of sits out of the way. If you wanted to remove the your motherboard, you just remove these 4 screws here and here and here, and they'll come right out. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to reassemble the computer. So first, we're going to go ahead and start off with getting your CD-ROM and floppy disk back in. So we're going to go ahead, place these in the computer, just slide them into the places they're supposed to be in. They'll just clip right in on their own, and it'll be nice, simple, and easy. And then just take your front casing, we're going to put one side in, and then the other side just clips right on. Okay, now that that's in, we're going to go ahead and put your power supply back in. Now, you're going to want to disconnect from the system case. So then you can go put this back in now. And just kind of put it down and slide it right into place. And it clips in. And then we're going to just go ahead and screw it back in all the 4 places. Go ahead and move those out of the way. And since this is already over here, we'll get this out of the way and plug it in. That way it's not hanging loose. Now it'll just be plugged right into that slot there. Now, we're going to go ahead and stick the RAM in while everything's out of the way. So you're going to start off with the slot that's closest to your CPU. And make sure the notches go in the right spot, because these pieces of RAM will only go in one way. And just push down until you hear both clicks. And there we go. Now, we're going to go ahead and reconnect your front panel. Go ahead and slide this in right over here and just kind of push it into place. Gets a little hard when the fan's in the way, but you know. There you go. And this, you can go ahead and slide it in to this little clip right next to your floppy disk drive. Clip it in there and slide it into the clip attached to your power supply. Doing that gets it out of the way, and then just plug it in right here on your motherboard. It will act like it doesn't want to plug in, but it does. You just got to kind of get it situated right and then push down. This one has a little harder to get in, so you kind of just got to give it a little bit of force. And it goes in. Next we'll go ahead and plug our CD-ROM in. That one you just simply do by taking the cord and plugging it into the slot right here. Plug it in right there, and go over here, and you're gonna have these 4 slots here. I like having my floppy disk, or not my floppy disk, my CD-ROM plugged in out here. And make sure it's facing the right way. Then go ahead and stick our hard drive in. This will simply just clip right into place. Have the blue side facing your fan and your hard drive side facing out. And just kind of drop it into place and it clips right in. Then we'll go ahead and take our SATA cable, and this will plug in right over here. I like to have my hard drives plugged in right on these 2 slots. It makes it a little nicer. And then you kind of clip your SATA cable into these little clips. Clip it into the fan, and then go ahead and plug it right into your hard drive right there. And now we're going to go ahead and put the CPU back on, or not the CPU, but your heatsink for your CPU. This is fairly simply done. It just kind of goes right over top of your fan casing. You just gotta line up the screws right, and you'll be good. Okay, and now your heat sink's down, and we're going to go ahead and plug the floppy disk drive in. This one doesn't really matter which side, but it does matter what side plugs in here, not so much over here. Just kind of make sure your key is going in the right way. This side's keyed. Okay. And if yours is keyed, then put it in the way that it's keyed. So then just clip that on there. Now, normally this little red side to your ribbon cable will be facing towards your power. And then you just kind of plug it in that way. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and start plugging the power supply in. So you're going to want to disconnect yourself from the case again. So, go ahead and start off with getting this long one out of the way by going down here and plugging your 4-pin connector to the motherboard, which gives it power to the CPU. Then this is going to run up through here and plug into your hard drive. And then you're going to go ahead and take these two connectors here and you're going to be plugging them into your floppy disk and your CD-ROM. This one, the small one, will hook up to your CD-ROM. Get the number that'll be facing the fan. Plug that in. This one will be plugging into there. I like to use the farthest one so I can stuff it into the little crevice. That will just clip right on. And now you got all that cooked up. And then go ahead and take your fan plug, go slide it under the cores, clip it in. This will just go down in here. Clip right in. And that's done. And now you just take your casing, and these holes here will be facing your hard drive, where your hard drive sits. You're going to slide that on, and then push down, and it clips right on. And that is it.